New book is The FBI Way, Inside the Bureau's Code of Excellence.
So we got Frank here, so it's good. Hey, Frank, you know, I went to law school. I'm a country lawyer.
Oh, so it's going to start this
I really
way?
don't understand these strange words that you all jumble together, but I'd like to read a couple of federal criminal statutes because I think it's a good place to start this show. Because I think with all of the ground noise that's going on, all of the questions about who voted what way, I think we're missing the bigger picture. And I want federal authorities to know that the people of the United States of America are going to pressure them every day to hold these traitors, to hold these seditionists to the full extent of the law. And I understand there are a lot of people out there who call themselves evangelicals that no longer believe in the Word of God, that now worship false idols, that haven't read the New Testament, haven't read the Gospels. That's fine. That's between you and Jesus, okay? That's between you and Jesus. But when you storm the Capitol, that's between the federal government and you. And we are the people. We are the people. You tried to take over our house. You trashed our house. You beat up our police officers. You tried to kill our speaker. You tried to kill our vice president. You are going to be held accountable. And then maybe when you're in jail for a long time, maybe somebody can slip you a Bible and you can start reading the Gospels again, and maybe even read some of the Old Testament about what happens to nations when they worship false idols. So with that as a backdrop,
Good morning, everyone.
Section 2384, seditious conspiracy. And stop me if this doesn't apply. Keep the picture. Well, there you go. There you go. If two or more persons in any state or territory or in any place subject to the jurisdiction of the United States conspire to overthrow, put down, or to destroy by force the government of the United States, or to levy war against them, or to oppose by force the authority thereof, or to force to prevent, hinder, or delay the execution of any law of the United States, or by force to seize, take, or possess any property of the United States, contrary to the authority thereof, they shall each be fined not more than $5,000 and imprisoned not more than 6 years. There are others that actually were updated. I get it. That's a 1948.
This one says not more than 20 years or both.
Now, of course, it was updated in 1994, and it updated it, Frank, to 20 years. And so, Frank, you look at the language. Let's put it up one more time. You look at the language, Frank, and you tell me how these people who were breaking into the Capitol, who are now whimpering and whining when they're being taken off of airplanes, they don't understand that they've committed treason against the United States of America, that they are involved in a seditious conspiracy by force, hinder, delay the execution of any law of the United States. But, Frank, that's the thing. This wasn't just any law. This was actually one of the cornerstones of the United States Constitution. This was the part of the Constitution that separated us from every other country in the world. John Adams did it first in 1800 when he voluntarily walked away from the presidency. After he lost, he didn't seize power. It shocked countries across the world that this grand new constitutional republic would have a peaceful transfer of power. And so there it was, written in the United States Constitution, to guarantee that peaceful transfer of power. And this was the date that the Constitution set that our representatives, our elected representatives, were to count the electoral votes as required by the Constitution of the United States. And those people on the screen, I'm sorry, I'm a simple country lawyer, but even I can figure out that is a conspiracy to commit sedition against the United States of America. Please tell me where I'm wrong. And please tell me if I am not wrong, why the hell these people shouldn't be charged by federal prosecutors to the fullest extent of the law and be sent to prison for 20 years. Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.